Is it possible to make a machine that powers itself forever? Today on Toon Science, we're looking at one of my favourite clips from The Simpsons.
I know. And this perpetual motion machine she made today is a joke. It just keeps going faster and faster. Lisa, get in here. In this house, we obey the laws of thermodynamics.
So is Lisa's invention a real thing, or is it confined to the 2D world of cartoons? Well, what Lisa's claimed to have made is a perpetual motion machine. That's a device that's able to continue working indefinitely without input from an external power source like the sun or a battery. Think of a wheel that keeps spinning forever, or a light bulb that's able to power itself through solar panels. There have been heaps of ideas of how to make one of these perpetual motion machines dating back thousands of years, from spinning wheels to self-filling cups to balls on tracks, but they all run into the same problem because physics tells us they're impossible.
In this house, we obey the laws of thermodynamics.
What Homer is referring to here is a set of 4 laws that lay out the relationship between energy and other things like temperature and work, which in science is referring to moving energy from place to place and a force being applied to another thing, as opposed to the daily 9-to-5 grind. The laws are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 0. That's because the 0th law, which was actually the 4th law, came a couple of hundred years after the first 3. But because scientists deemed it more fundamental than the first 3, they shoehorned it in at the start. There's a great nod to this in science fiction, where Isaac Asimov adds a 0th law to his 3 laws of robotics in his book Robots and Empire. The idea of a perpetual motion machine runs into problems with 2 of the laws of thermodynamics. Let's say, theoretically, you could create a self-powering light bulb. You wouldn't be able to create a surplus of energy that you could use for other things. That's because of the first law of thermodynamics, which is a conservation of energy law. You can't create or destroy energy. You can only move it from place to place. So because Lisa's machine is getting faster and faster, it's violating this first law of thermodynamics. But you couldn't even make a self-powering light bulb in the first place. That's because of the second law of thermodynamics. It says that energy likes to spread out over time, or that systems like to move to be equal everywhere. You can see Lisa's machine is leaking energy to the environment through things like friction from the wheel turning and the sound of the ratchet clanking every time the wheel spins. If you've heard of the word entropy or disorder, this is where it comes in. A well-used example that I love is thinking about the air in the room that you're in right now. It's technically possible that all of a sudden all of the air molecules could become bunched up in one corner, meaning that you would struggle to breathe. But that doesn't happen because the air molecules bunched up in one corner is a really ordered system, which means it has a really low entropy. Whereas the air molecules spread out all over the room, meaning we can breathe easily, is a disordered system because there's lots of different ways that you can arrange those air molecules all over the room. That means it has a high entropy. And the second law of thermodynamics states that a spontaneous process will always increase the entropy of the universe. So you won't have a situation where you have a high entropy state, like air molecules spread all over the room, turning into a low state, like the air molecules bunched up in a corner. There are some really clever attempts at perpetual motion machines, but all of them are bound by these laws of thermodynamics. So after hours or days or some amount of time, they will come to a stop. Or they use sneaky hidden forms of external energy inputs. Have you ever seen one of those drinking birds? It uses the heat of the air in the room and the cold of the water in the glass to help it do some cool things to move.
It's drinking the water!
So what rating does this clip get for accuracy? Well, I'm giving it 9 thumbs up.
9 thumbs up? What the hell is that?
I love this clip so much. It's a really concise explanation of why you can't have something like a perpetual motion machine. I'm not giving it 10 out of 10 though, because perpetual motion machines don't have to get faster and faster like Lisa's does. I know I'm being nitpicky, but if Homer or Lisa have a problem with that, they know where to find me. Do you agree with this rating? Do you have any other thoughts about the laws of thermodynamics? Let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future Toon Science videos. See you next time.